thing seems to have, gone awry. And it's ironic that both those finalists, Spurs and Man United, are both the two clubs above the relegation drop zone. So they've had pretty awful seasons, and both managers argue, well, we think the Spurs man will probably go, and possibly dRem as well. I wonder if dRem might be more of his own choice because
Mhm.
he's probably got a longer contract, so
Yeah.
they'd have to pay him off if they wanted to get rid of him. But I don't know about the Spurs manager's contract. But they
Yeah.
both, for those clubs, they both had poor seasons, and
Yeah.
obviously, just moving on from that, the result for Palace on Sunday was a good pre FA Cup final result to have because it
Yeah.
kind of gives you the momentum of a win. Obviously, the final is going to be tough against Man City. I think Haaland is playing. So it's going to be interesting because Palace have had a very good second half to the season, really.
Mm.
So the momentum is there. The belief, I think, is there in the players. But if the likes of De Bruyne, Haaland, and others come good, it'll be a tough ask to see Palace beat them. But as a Palace fan, I believe they can. I think we can win. But it's all about what it's like on the day. If the team comes out positive, confident, it can have that magical effect. And if Eze, who keeps scoring lately, Eberechi Eze, he's
Mm.
a fine player. And if he and Sarr, if they come good, if Walton plays, he was injured last week in the game at home to on Sunday night to I can't remember who it is now, but it was a 0-0 draw. It was to Forest, yeah.
Yeah.
And towards the end, he got, I don't know whether he got his foot trodden on, but he does go in quite hard for tackles. And he's one of these players who, and he's a wonderful footballer, let me say, but he's one of these players who likes to wear their socks very low down. But I think they still have to have a very small shin pad in the sock. They're not allowed to do it otherwise. But
Mm.
to me, I suppose it's what they find comfortable, but it's asking for real trouble. You get a leg break quite easily,
Yeah.
particularly as Adam does go in hard for tackles. And I think it was one of those where he either got his foot trodden on, but you could see instantly he was limping. So he didn't play on Sunday at Tottenham. And Oliver Glasner said he's 90% sure hopeful that he'll play in the final, but that's not 100%. And it's a great shame because he makes it happen in midfield, but we'll see what happens. But
Yeah.
yeah, so everybody's looking forward from the Palace point of view to going to Wembley on Saturday.
Yeah. I'm
I
looking forward
certainly
to
am.
that game. I am looking forward to that game. Now, you mentioned Nottingham Forest just as you was talking about
Yeah,
the
yeah.
game. I mean, what's happened with them? They were flying
Well,
high, you know.
yeah, we do have to mention the poor player. I don't know whether you saw it. Um,
Right.
the guy who collided with the post. Did you see that?
Ah, yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, he was rushed off to hospital.
Yeah.
In case you didn't
Terrible.
read it, and he had to have emergency surgery. And I read last night he's in an induced coma
Whoa.
because of the severity of the injury, which the doctors have said could have been fatal. I
Yeah.
mean, he absolutely slammed into that post, and it made you, feel pretty awful for him.
Yeah.
But I just hope, I'm sure everybody in football hopes he's okay and that he does pull through. I mean, they obviously only really put people into induced comas if maybe they want to keep them free from some of the pain and discomfort or other medical matters.
Yeah.
But I so feel for the guy. You don't expect to see. I'm sure everybody in football hopes he's okay and that he does pull through. I mean, they obviously only really put people into induced comas if maybe they want to keep them free from some of the pain and discomfort or other medical matters.
Yeah.
But I so feel for the guy. You don't expect to see such a dreadful injury. I mean, we do see them sometimes, but not that are really life-threatening.
Yeah.
So let's just hope. Let's just hope the poor fellow is okay, and comes through this. So that
Yeah.
anyway, that was a major thing of the Forest game. But the other thing that at the weekend, I think it was on Sunday, and I can't think. Oh, Forest were playing. They had a 2-2 draw, didn't they? And it might have been with one of the relegated teams. Was it Ipswich? I can't remember. But anyway, most people would have thought they would have
Was it
won that
was it
because they
Leicester
were at home.
Or Southampton?
It may well have been, actually.
Yeah.
It may well have been, but it was a 2-2 draw. And afterwards, the Forest owner, big chap, came down onto the pitch, as he has been known to do, quite upset by the looks of it. And he went to walk past Nuno, the manager, and he sort of then stopped. And it seemed he was, excuse me, he was a bit cross with the manager because of they want to get into the Champions League. They've now fallen outside those top six.
Yeah.
And he seemed to have a go. And Gary Neville, on the TV pundit, he sort of said, really, it was disgraceful to do that in public to the manager, and that the manager, he said, should get himself together and go and basically negotiate his departure. He said, I wouldn't want to stay there if that had happened to me. So that might be an interesting one to watch. And it's a shame because we all know Forest have had a brilliant season. I mean, they've been up there, right throughout the season, almost from nowhere. Nobody really expected another team like Leicester to suddenly appear. I mean, Forest haven't been up that long anyway in the Premier League. And yet Nuno clearly has found something in those players which is tremendous. He's had a great season, and it is a shame if they've kind of faltered at the final hurdle in terms of Champions League and Europe qualification. But yeah, I'm not sure what it would be like to work for that owner. You'd always feel there was someone over the shoulder, monitoring everything, every result, everything you're doing in a way that is kind of suffocating, really, perhaps. So that might be interesting to see if anything comes from that.
Yeah, I read something about that, but I thought I saw that he was going to be leaving at the end of the season, and then something about the owner, the guy that you was talking about. I can't remember his name now, but yeah.